Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to part 22 of the TOS Enterprise build. It's been a while. I had to take a break from her because we had a nacelle decal break, and I had to get a hold of round 2 and actually see if they would give me a replacement, and they did, but it was going to take up to 4 to, actually I think they said somewhere around 6 to 8 weeks for it to get here. It got here about 7 weeks, and then I got involved with other projects, and so it got kind of pushed onto the wayside. But today we're going to actually remove that old decal and get this new one put on, so let's take a look. Well, hello everyone. It's been a while since I've done anything on the Enterprise here. We had this decal here go bad. I don't know if I can get it in the camera. This decal here broke, and Polar Lights was nice enough to, round 2 I should say, was nice to send me out a new one. They sent me out a whole set. So now I have extras. One thing I do want to check is make sure the red is close, otherwise I might change both of them. And how close is our red? It's not, well, it might be different once it gets on the gray, so we'll have to check. And it's actually that one that's going to replace it. A little different, I don't know. So I was thinking, do I go through and it's almost like these are, no, maybe not. It almost looks like they're a little skinnier. But I think it's because it's on a darker color instead of this blue. Which, you know, what color you put things over top can change the way the color looks. Yeah, see, because I have those from the first or second pilot. So that's pretty neat. There's the bridge for the pilot versions. These are different. I like the ones they gave me, the original kits. It has the shading besides just the border. So those are different, so I'm glad I have the old ones on those. Which ones are they? I think it's these. I'll have to see. Here I see notches. So I wonder if these decals have notches, so it gives you a key in. No, but it's giving you spacing. That's what it's doing. Those little, the die cut gives you spacing between the lettering and the stripes, so that's neat. So it's definitely these guys. Where these are straight up, and those are the ones that go underneath. And I didn't realize they're pretty much, I think, the same size font. But yeah, I hit it with water. I hit it even with a little solution. It still seems like the best way is just to take my thumbnail, and since it's already a brittle, it's already a brittle decal. It's pretty much doing what it did when I put it on. It's chopping into a million little pieces. That seems to be working the best. I was hoping I didn't have to sand it, because then I would want to put another... Ooh, what did I blow off? Oh, it's a little... Wow, I must have really blew hard to blow that off. And this I just have sitting on there. That's the dome that goes over the back. Because I want to wait to put that on until the whole ship's cleared, but I couldn't clear this ship yet until I get this last decal on. And then I got to go over top and just clean it because it's been sitting out, and I want to clear with all this dust. That's what stunk. But it took about 7 weeks for them to get this decal to me, and then I just put it off and put it off and put it off because I got involved in other builds. And just had her sitting downstairs on the shelf. And she looked good. I just had this side towards the wall. But that alone there just worked fine. We'll just have to make sure we go through and make sure we clean up all these little staticky pieces of decal. But I gotta wipe the whole ship down anyway. The damp microfiber cloth. I put these little plastic pieces in because those aren't going to matter if I hit them with a clear. And they're lighting up really good. The little beacons on the top here. I'm glad I did that. It looks cool. I mean, they're there, so why not have them light up? And that one's in the green. And I can leave these parts actually clear because the light will actually color them, unlike here. What else? And I started painting this I guess it's a phaser that goes on the bottom of the dome down there. So I hit it with a light blocking black. And then I'll hit it with the hull color, and then hit that with the, I think I'm going to do a little transparent red, to see if that will glow a little bit. See if the light will come down from the dome onto this. And then glow that. And I got to see what's the best way to glue that on there, because it's clear. Well, it's just I got to be careful what it doesn't haze this dome up, even though I gotta paint the dome, the inside white. I gotta paint the bottoms of those white that go up in these. And the main thing is the base. Oh, and then on these guys I started light blocking those little areas. And then once they cure really good, it's to me a black paint, so it's going to take a little longer than the crack to clear out. I think it's set up already. Then I can hit it with the hull color and then hit the little nut with I think I'm going to go with brass because that's what I see on the Smithsonian 11-footer. It's a brass. It's like one of those little button nuts. But what's going to happen then is this dome's going to sit on this. Because I think I'm going to use 4 switches. Well, I know I'm going to use 4 switches. 4 of these. I might see if I can cut this little edge off so they all can stack really close together and make it look like they're little switches on their consoles. You know, the white, blue, yellow, red little switches they have on their consoles, and they're usually in a row. I'm building the Enterprise bridge, the big set. And yeah, the photo etch has the little switches like this. So I want to put those across for the 4. One's going to be the main power, one's going to be for the blue lights and the nacelles, one's going to be for the yellow lights and the cap, and then the 4th one is for the light in the shuttle bay. So I want to have that going across here, and it's better in wood than in this dome. It gets crazy and too full. And I want to paint this like a, alien planet. I think I'm going to go with like this as a base and then use all these crazy 60s colors for the clouds and the swirls, kind of like Jupiter. So that's what we'll do there. And then I have the photo etch piece that says Enterprise, and it has the Federation globe part, and then I have badges. The badges I think I'm going to put on here, and then the Enterprise will be towards the front, and then these switches will be towards the back. And then that way the jack will, I think I can get a jack. Where are my jacks? What different ones do I have? They're all pretty much the same. That one's a big one. This is one I think came with the kit that I put in here. They're all about the same size. But will you fit? Yeah, I think you'll just fit. So, one good way to I probably should use my ruler because you need multiple points. What I can do is leave that, and that's 19 millimeters off of that, and I can kind of hard to see, 1 centimeter from that. 1 centimeter on the very off of this bar, 12 off of there, and 19 millimeters off of that gray box. And if we're doing 20A, that means we need 20 A's, 20C. And did they have this one labeled as 20B? Yep, that's fine. Good job. Alright, so we gotta cut this one out. Oh, this is gonna tell us. This is gonna let us know if, maybe a paper towel. I guess I can set it over there. These parts here. Let's get you in the water first. Well, hold around here. And let's cut that number off before it becomes part of the... Those little numbers always like to float underneath your decal. Alright, I guess we're ready. This should be moving. Sure I don't have any. I should wash my hands. One sec, because I have little pieces of. Make sure we got all that little bit of decal away. But I have some that are sticking to my hands. So I will be right back. Pause this. Okay, I feel better not having any little stuff stick on. I'm still checking. Yeah, there's still. Yeah, we should get a little water down. Carry a little more this over. I can see. Down. Get it as close to. Yeah, I think she's going to look a little more red. Unless once it sucks down, it'll. Boy, that's really close. That's almost pretty close. We gotta come this way quite a bit. Oop. That's about perfect that way. Just gotta go up. Yeah, I think she's going to be a little more red than I want her to be. Yeah, that's making me think. I want... That's perfect there. I'll call that good. Let's get a clean Q-tip. I'll have to stare at it. It's not so bad because it's on the other side, but it's between these two. I mean, if I have to, I can scrape and start over. It's just four. I won't do all these little ones, because I'm sure they're all different too. And they're smaller and thinner, so they look a little darker. But yeah, what can you do? It is what it is. It's either I rip them off, which I could easily do, because these weren't hard to put on, and redo all of the badges. I think I might. Kind of like how these look a little better anyway. You know, these were really simple. I can just, if those scraped off pretty simple, like those should too. I might. I think the yellow looks a little better on here. I think it's kind of pointy there, so maybe I will. Just to keep all the reds the same. It's really not going to take me much longer, and later down the road I'll probably be like, should have. And in that case, yeah, I think we're definitely gonna change them all. It just doesn't make sense not to. The red is different enough. Move this water dish over here. Let's see it. It's a bummer, but they were created in different times, so different runs. So it's going to be a different ink. And I believe I kind of like it's more of a maroon. It's a darker, deeper, like red, where this is more of a red. And I kind of like the maroon a little better. But I think we're going to have to, but like I said, the yellow parts on here are not that nice. Not as nice as the newer one, so that's a sell point. Yeah, even on these nacelles, it kind of gets thin where the yellow goes outside the red. And that might be something that they fixed on the new decal. Most definitely. Yeah, then we can get these sitting the way I want them to. But very smart on putting the little tab there. Because then you just line it up. And bump it into it. As long as you bump it into it square. These are definitely a better quality decal. I can feel it just in its backing paper. And how smooth it's laying down. So these are a better decal too. Well, that went on pretty good too. Yeah, these are definitely a better grade. So let's try the big stripe. And then we'll go and scrape the other side. I'll probably scrape this one off first. Woo! Did you see that fly away? Flew her away. Get you in order. Yeah, the other ones, as I was doing this, you could hear them. Sound like you were walking on thin ice. unfortunately nothing covered that. That scratch. I'll put you out a little further because I can't see the... Oh yeah, the yellow's way more brilliant. Yeah, we're changing them. Just looking at this one, it sold me so bad. So you line them up. And you bring them together to where they crash. And it's nice and even. Then we can do that. It kind of looks like we're going a little bit downhill here. There we go. Can we get a straight edge across it? You know, the brighter red is actually looking pretty good. Just a smidge, I can see it. I almost wonder if I could put the other decal on top, but they probably don't fit exact. Wouldn't that be funny if I could put the other decal right on top? It's all if they're exactly the same. It shouldn't really matter. I'm going to try it. If not, I can pull it right back off onto this and give a massive scraping. But if I can just lay this one right over top of the other one and it covers it, it should still be fine, I would think. I never heard of doing that. My only thing is, will it give it too much of a raised look? But I don't think so. These things are thin. It's just how good is everything proportioned. I think you can get away with it. I really do. I'm going to try it. So let's see if we can cover it. This will be a first. I hope it works. Should go from this way. I'm sorry, I have some type of classical guitar going on downstairs, which is kind of nice. Oh, I think we're going to be alright. It's a little longer. And I'm hoping it's saying it's a little taller too. Of course. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, it kind of gave it a little maroon border around the red. So I kind of like that. Yeah. I don't know if I can get you guys to see it, but It worked. In this case, it worked. So, folks, if you ever have an old set and you have one go bad and you get a new set, I think HDA Modelworks has a set too. And I know their red's a little more like the new Polar Lights. You can always check to see if it'll go over top of the one that's already there if you have to change them all because of the difference in the color and the shade of red. And I'm liking these better because, like I said, that yellow is way more brilliant. And these look better than the originals. But yeah, all it did is give a little border of the more maroon red. So it kind of looks like it was actually printed that way, in a sense. Yeah, so this is kind of nice, in a sense. Maybe another happy, mistake. It wasn't really a mistake, it's just those other decals are just brittle. But, a mishap or a thing that happened that ends up working for the best, because we're getting better pennants. But yeah, you can see how deeper that red is. It's almost a maroon. And then you put, I don't know if you're going to see it on my camera, then you put that one up. Yeah, you can see it. See the difference? If these were in the right lining, I'm going to line these up. I think these are sitting a little high, so I'm going to go off of the other one. You could almost pretty much done the same thing. Just drop that right on there. Are you loose? Yes, you are. So we can put a little water. And I noticed this decal really wants to stick to the other decal really well. It's easier by hand. Oh, that's working so nice. It's silly. Well, good job on round 2, making sure that their decals are quite the same. Like I said, it's a hair longer, but that's a benefit, and it actually looks better that it's a hair a little longer. Alright, now let's get this front looking right. This one kind of having to cheat a little more to hide. It looks good. I like it. It works. I'm actually, now that I've seen this brighter red on the ship, I'm kind of liking it because so much of the color, it gets a little more brilliance to the ship. And definitely the yellows I'm liking because it stands out so much more. Yeah, good call. And that old decal giving it that little shading around it, it looks kind of neat. It's not a black, it's still in the red zone. So good call on changing. Goodness, I can't, this ship is so huge. Yeah, good call on changing the, yeah, because this looks better than, I mean, that one's pretty good lining too. Got a pretty good lineup too. But this one I think's a little better. So, I'm just going to do the same thing on this side, but that is definitely something you can do. If you need to, just put another decal on top of another. Because I would have had to sand that off. There was no doubt I would have had to sand that one off. And yeah, and it kind of gave it an extra little bonus of a little bit of a shading around it. But definitely a good call to change those. Those showed up. I never even really noticed it. But now they don't look like, what would you call that shape? It's almost like a little boomerang kind of thing looking. But yeah, right where it comes out of the red, this leading edge on this side, it notches in. It's like it yellows out here and then it passes the red and it notches in and then goes. It kind of comes up a yellow and then it comes back in and then it's a faded yellow out there. Almost, yeah, even this one notches in and then where it passes the red, and these outer yellow pieces are skinnier than what's in the red. But on these, they're perfect. That's not happening on these. So we got rid of that little imperfection. Again, it was really nice of Polar Lights just to, they made it so easy. I just went on their website, said I needed a parts replacement. They asked for a picture of the receipt if, you know, I had still had something from eBay. Because I got this kit from eBay. And then I needed the code on the box. And I just sent them the receipt showing that I did buy the kit new from a store, from a hobby store on eBay. And yeah, the barcode for the actual kit. I think I have the box right here. Is it on the lid? No, it'll be on the back. Let's see if I can do this without a million parts falling out of it. They needed that barcode there, those numbers. So I just took a picture of that and sent them that, those two things. And within a day I got a response from their technical support guys. And yeah, they said, please just be worried that it could take 6 to 8 weeks because they're short-staffed. And I'm like, no problem, you're sending me one. I'm just happy about that. Because otherwise I was going to go with the HDA set from HDA Model Works. But I was hoping the reds would match, but they don't. So I probably could have just went and ordered those anyway. But the nice thing is, Polar Lights took care of me and I got these free. But like I said, this is the last, well, it's in 3 pieces, but it's going to be the same as the other side. And I showed you, we learned something new, that you can go over top of another decal with the exact same decal if they fit correctly, especially if the new one's a hair bigger. And if it was a hair skinnier, as far as, and nice and evenly as red, but at least these 3 stripes were a lot longer. Not a lot, but you know, a couple millimeters longer. So, see you soon.